The emergency room doors burst open as Brielle stormed in, her designer suit soaked in blood that wasn't hers, clutching a phone still buzzing with urgent calls from her board of directors. "Where is she?" "Juliet," she demanded, her voice cracking for the first time in years, eyes wild with a fear that no corporate takeover had ever instilled. Juliet, the on-call doctor who'd patched up Brielle's invisible wounds more times than she could count, froze at the sight, her secret lover, the untouchable so, unraveling in public for all to see. Juliet's heart slammed against her ribs as she rushed forward, grabbing Brielle's arm and pulling her into a private exam room before the nurses could gossip. "What happened? Whose blood is this?" she whispered urgently, her mind racing through worst-case scenarios, but deep down knowing this was another fallout from Brielle's ruthless world. Brielle collapsed onto the stool, her alpha facade crumbling as tears mixed with the crimson stains. "It's my VP's. He jumped from the office balcony after I fired him. Right in front of me. God, Juliet, I pushed him too far." In that moment, Juliet's world tilted. She was the beta in this dynamic, the steady, empathetic one who fixed things quietly, without the spotlight. But seeing Brielle like this, vulnerable and broken, stirred a storm inside her. How many times had she been the safe harbor for this woman who commanded boardrooms like battlefields? Their relationship had started innocently enough. A chance encounter at a charity gala where Brielle's commanding presence drew Juliet in like a moth to flame. But now, as Juliet wiped the blood from Brielle's hands with antiseptic wipes, she wondered if she was enabling a monster. Brielle's mind whirled with regret, not just for the VP's suicide but for the choices that led here. As CEO of Apex Dynamics, she'd built an empire on cutthroat decisions, sacrificing personal connections for power. Her family, old money conservatives from the Boston elite, had drilled into her that weakness was failure. Coming out as lesbian would have been the ultimate betrayal of their legacy. So she hid it, channeling her alpha energy into dominance at work, only seeking solace in Juliet's arms when crises hit. But tonight the cost felt too high. "I can't keep doing this to you," Brielle muttered, her voice raw. "You deserve better than being my crisis hotline." Juliet paused, her green eyes locking onto Brielle's blue ones, a silent battle raging in her thoughts. She loved this woman, the fire, the intelligence, the rare glimpses of tenderness. But love came with chains. Her own family, immigrant parents who scrimped to put her through med school, expected her to marry a nice man, produce grandchildren, uphold traditions. Being with Brielle meant lying, sneaking, and the constant fear of exposure. "Then stop coming here only when everything falls apart," Juliet replied, her tone sharper than intended. "Make a choice, Brie. Us or your empire." The air thickened with unspoken accusations. Brielle stood, pacing the small room, her mind dissecting the options like a business strategy. Leave Juliet? Unthinkable. The doctor was her anchor. But integrate her into her life? That meant facing her family's wrath, the board's scrutiny, and society's judgmental gaze on a powerful lesbian couple. "You think it's that easy? My parents would disown me. The shareholders would revolt. I'm not like you, Jules. I can't just be open." Her words hung heavy, a confession of cowardice wrapped in pride. Juliet's inner turmoil boiled over. Why was she always the one compromising? As a beta personality, she'd learned to yield, to heal, to support. But supporting Brielle meant burying her own dreams, of a public relationship, of not hiding in shadows. She thought back to their first kiss, stolen in a dimly lit parking garage after Brielle's promotion party. It had felt electric, promising. Now it mocked her. "And what about me? Hiding in your chaos? I'm tired, Brie. Tired of being your secret." Brielle reached out, her hand trembling as it cupped Juliet's cheek. "I know. But give me time. This deal I'm closing, it's massive. After that, maybe." Her voice trailed off, unconvincing even to herself. Juliet pulled away, the rejection stinging both of them. In her mind, she weighed the damage. Another night alone, questioning her worth, versus the thrill of Brielle's rare affections. The hospital pager buzzed, pulling her back to reality. "I have patience. You should go home. Clean up." As Brielle left, the door clicking shut felt like a finality. She drove through Boston's rain-slicked streets, her thoughts a whirlwind of self-reproach. Had she really driven a man to suicide? The VP had embezzled funds, yes, but her public humiliation of him in the meeting, calling him out, stripping his dignity, that was on her. Alpha instincts, she told herself. Necessary for survival in a man's world. But at what price? Juliet's face haunted her, the disappointment etching deeper each time. Back in her penthouse, Brielle poured a scotch, staring at the city skyline. Her family dinner was tomorrow. Another facade of the perfect daughter. Her mother would probe about eligible bachelors, her father about business conquests. Coming clean about Juliet? It would shatter them. Yet, the alternative was losing the one person who saw through her armor. She texted Juliet. "I'm sorry. Let's talk soon." No response. The silence echoed her isolation. Juliet, meanwhile, treated a string of patients, her focus splintered. A young woman with a broken arm reminded her of her own fractures, emotional ones, hidden under professional poise. Why did she stay? Love, yes, but also fear. Fear of being alone in a city that celebrated independence but punished deviation. Her parents called weekly, their voices laced with expectations. Find a good man, Juliet. Don't waste your youth. The lie choked her. By dawn, as her shift ended, Juliet decided. She couldn't wait for Brielle's maybe. She needed action. Driving home, she rehearsed the ultimatum in her head, heart pounding with resolve and dread. This relationship, built on stolen moments, demanded a reckoning. Brielle's boardroom was a war zone the next morning. Shareholders circling like vultures after the VP's suicide hit the news. "This is a pure nightmare, Brielle," one grizzled investor barked, slamming the table. "Your leadership is under fire. Resign or we'll force you out." Her alpha instincts surged. She straightened, eyes blazing, ready to fight. But inside, doubt gnawed. Was this the empire worth sacrificing everything for? She thought of Juliet, the text still unanswered. Last night's vulnerability had exposed cracks in her armor, and now the world hammered at them. "I handled the embezzlement decisively," she countered, voice steady. His actions were his own, but the words tasted bitter. In her mind she replayed the meeting. His pleading eyes, her cold dismissal. Had she become the villain her critics painted? The meeting dragged, accusations flying. Brielle's phone vibrated. A message from her mother. "Dinner tonight. Bring that nice colleague you mentioned." The colleague was a fabricated straight man to deflect suspicions. Lies upon lies. She excused herself, stepping into the hallway, pulse racing. Calling Juliet felt urgent now, a lifeline in the storm. Juliet, in her modest apartment, stared at the text from last night. Her shift had left her exhausted, but sleep evaded her. Thoughts swirled. Brielle's world was glamour and power, hers healing and humility. As a beta she balanced, but imbalance threatened to topple her. Her own family loomed. A call from her sister yesterday. "Mom's planning a matchmaking dinner. You're 32, Jules. Time to settle." The pressure squeezed her chest. She dialed Brielle, heart in throat. "We need to talk. Now." Brielle's relief was palpable. "Come to my office. Please." Juliet hesitated. Entering Brielle's domain meant confronting the divide. But she agreed, driven by a need for clarity. Arriving at Apex Dynamics, Juliet felt out of place amid the sleek glass and steel. Security eyed her scrub suspiciously. In the elevator she rehearsed, "Choose me or lose me." But seeing Brielle at her desk, poised yet frayed, softened her resolve. "You look like hell," Juliet said, closing the door. Brielle stood, pulling her into a hug. "I am hell right now. The board wants my head." Juliet pulled back. "And what do you want? Us in the open or this endless hiding?" Brielle's mind raced. Admitting love publicly meant risking it all. Her family's conservative circle would shun her. Society would label her the lesbian CEO, a distraction from her achievements. "I want you. But timing." "Timing is an excuse," Juliet interrupted, voice rising. Inner conflict tore at her. Love versus self-respect. She'd sacrificed dates, holidays for Brielle's schedule. The damage accumulated. Loneliness, resentment. "I'm not your dirty secret anymore." Brielle's alpha pride flared. "You think this is easy for me? I built this from nothing. My parents expect a legacy, marriage, heirs." The words exposed her mired in tradition, despite her modern facade. Juliet saw the trap. Brielle's power masked deep insecurity. Their argument escalated, voices echoing. Then choose your legacy over me, Juliet shot back. But know the price, losing the only real thing in your life. Brielle flinched, memories flooding. Childhood under her father's thumb, suppressing her attractions to girls, channeling it into ambition. Juliet was her rebellion, her truth. A knock interrupted, Brielle's assistant wide-eyed. The press is here. Brielle composed herself, but Juliet stormed out, tears blurring her vision. In the lobby, she bumped into a reporter. Are you a friend of Miss Thorne? The question hit like a gut punch. Friend. The minimization stung. Brielle watched from her window as Juliet left, regret twisting her gut. She canceled the family dinner, feigning illness. Alone in her office, she pondered the betrayal, not of others but of herself. Hiding Juliet was a daily treason against her heart. That evening, Juliet met her best friend Sarah at a coffee shop. It's over, she confessed, voice breaking. Sarah, openly gay, hugged her. You deserve someone who shouts your name from rooftops. Juliet nodded, but doubt lingered. Was ending it the right choice or fear disguised as strength? Brielle, meanwhile, faced her mirror. The Alpha CEO stared back, but beneath, a woman yearned for authenticity. She drafted an email to her parents. We need to talk about who I really am. But she deleted it, cowardice winning again. The cost of inaction mounted. Another night without Juliet's warmth. Days blurred into tension. Brielle buried herself in damage control, negotiating with the board. A settlement for the VP's family drained resources but saved face. Yet, personal salvage eluded her. She called Juliet repeatedly, voicemails pleading. I need you. Please. Juliet listened, heart aching. Her patients noticed her distraction, a misdiagnosis narrowly averted. The professional toll alarmed her. In her mind she debated. Forgive and wait or cut ties and heal. Finally a breakthrough, Brielle's company gala approached. She invited Juliet anonymously, a test. Come as my guest. No hiding. Juliet stared at the invite, decision looming. Acceptance meant hope. Rejection, finality. At the gala, Juliet arrived, stunning in a simple black dress. Brielle spotted her, breath-catching. But as they met, Brielle's father approached. Who's this? He boomed. Brielle froze, the moment of truth crashing down. Brielle's father, a towering figure of old Boston wealth, eyed Juliet with suspicion. A colleague, he prodded, his tone laced with expectation. Brielle's mind screamed, lie or leap. Her alpha resolve cracked under the weight of potential loss. Dad, this is Juliet. My partner. The word hung, explosive in the glittering ballroom. Gasps rippled through nearby guests. Her father's face reddened. What the hell does that mean? Juliet stood rigid, her beta calm masking inner panic. She'd come for honesty, not humiliation. Brielle grabbed her hand, a public declaration. It means I love her. I'm gay, Dad. Have been for years. The fallout was immediate. Her father stormed off, muttering about disgrace. Whispers spread like wildfire. Shareholders murmuring, phones buzzing with texts. Brielle's world tilted, but holding Juliet's hand grounded her. I'm sorry, she whispered. But it's out now. Juliet's thoughts raced. Pride mixed with fear. This was the exposure she'd craved, but at what cost? Cameras flashed. Paparazzi had infiltrated. By morning, headlines screamed. Apex CEO comes out amid scandal. The board called an emergency meeting. Back home, Brielle's phone exploded with calls. Her mother wept on voicemail. How could you do this to us? Think of the family name. The societal backlash hit hard. Conservative clients pulling contracts, online trolls spewing hate. Brielle's alpha armor dented, she turned to Juliet. Was this a mistake? Juliet, cradling her, shook her head. It's the truth. But truths hurt. Internally she battled guilt. Had she pushed too far? Her own family would soon learn news traveled fast. The musing tormented her. Right choice or selfish demand? The next day, Juliet's parents called. Is this true? You're with a woman. Her mother's voice broke. We raised you better. The rejection stabbed deep. Juliet defended. This is who I am. Love me or not. But hanging up, tears flowed. The price of authenticity. Familial bonds strained. Brielle faced the board chin high. My personal life doesn't affect my leadership. But doubts voiced. It distracts. Resign. She fought back, negotiating a probation. Exhausted, she confided in Juliet. I might lose everything. Juliet's response. But you gained us. Weeks passed in turmoil. Brielle's empire wobbled. Stocks dipped, allies deserted. She second-guessed her outing, mind replaying alternatives. Hiding forever? No, that betrayed her soul. Juliet supported, but her own career suffered. Colleagues whispered, patients questioned. Is she the one from the news? The scrutiny eroded her confidence. A betrayal struck. Brielle's ex-assistant leaked emails, twisting their relationship into scandal. CEO uses lover to cover crimes. Lies but damaging. Brielle raged internally. Trust shattered, isolation deepened. Who can I rely on? She thought. Juliet confronted her. Fight this together. But doubt crept. Was Brielle's world too toxic? Her inner monologue agonized. Stay and endure, or leave and protect herself. High tension peaked at a family confrontation. Brielle's parents arrived unannounced. End this nonsense, her father demanded. Marry properly, save the legacy. Brielle stood firm. I won't live a lie. The argument escalated. Accusations of selfishness, threats of disinheritance. Juliet watched, heartbreaking for Brielle's pain. In a moment of weakness, Brielle wavered. Maybe we take a break. For now. Juliet recoiled, betrayal burning. After all this? She left, slamming the door, thoughts swirling. Was love worth this endless fight? Alone, Brielle realized the depth of her loss. Her alpha drive had built walls, now crumbling. She called her therapist, long neglected. I need help facing this. Admitting vulnerability was a step toward awakening. Juliet, driving aimlessly, pondered her choices. Returning to hiding? Impossible. But forgiving Brielle's hesitation? Debatable. A patient's story mirrored hers. A woman who chose family over love, regretting it. Don't repeat my mistakes, the patient advised. Reunited tentatively, they talked deep into night. I panicked, Brielle admitted. But I choose you. Juliet's response. Caution. Prove it. The mending began, fragile but real. Yet society pushed back. Protests outside Apex, anti-LGBT groups picketing. Brielle addressed them. Love is love. The speech went viral, polarizing. Supporters emerged, but enemies multiplied. Juliet's hospital faced complaints. Fire the doctor in that scandal. She fought for her job, mind questioning. Was visibility worth the harassment? A turning point. Brielle's sister, estranged but empathetic, reached out. I'm proud of you. A crack of light in the darkness. As tensions mounted, Brielle faced a moral dilemma. A lucrative deal with a homophobic client. Accept for the company, or reject on principle. She chose rejection, stocks plummeting further. The decision cost jobs, guilt weighing heavy. Did I doom them? She agonized. Juliet consoled. You chose integrity. But internally she worried. How much more could they take? The layoffs hit like a thunderclap. 50 employees gone to stabilize Apex after the deal's collapse. Brielle signed the papers with trembling hands, her alpha confidence shattered. This is on me, she confessed to Juliet that night, voice hollow. Employees' faces haunted her. Families disrupted, lives upended. The price of her principles felt exorbitant. Juliet held her, but her own burdens mounted. Her parents cut contact, the silence deafening. They'll come around, she told herself, but doubt festered. At work, a promotion she'd eyed went to another. Whispers of distraction cited. The societal bias stung. As a lesbian in medicine, her competence questioned. Their relationship strained under the weight. Arguments flared. You chose business over us again. Juliet accused after Brielle canceled a date for crisis meetings. Brielle snapped back. I'm saving what's left. Internally, Brielle battled. Love versus legacy. Her awakening deepened. Power was illusion without authenticity. A shocking betrayal emerged. Juliet's colleague, jealous of her resilience, leaked patient files implicating her in minor errors, twisted to suggest negligence amid personal drama. The hospital investigated. Juliet's world spun. Who would do this? Trust eroded, paranoia set in. Confronting the colleague, Juliet demanded. Why? The response. You flaunt your lifestyle, it disrupts. The homophobia raw, Juliet reported it, but damage done. Her mind raced. Fight or flee. As Beta, she preferred harmony, but harmony demanded justice. Brielle, hearing this, raged. We'll sue. But Juliet hesitated. More publicity? The choice tore at her. Silence meant complicity. Action meant exposure. They attended a support group for LGBT professionals, a first. Stories shared mirrored theirs. Families lost, careers derailed. Brielle opened up. I thought power protected me. It didn't. The vulnerability bonded them anew. Yet pressure escalated. Brielle's board voted no confidence. Step down or be removed. Her empire crumbled. In desperation, she considered selling out, merging with a rival, securing jobs but losing control. The moral quandary. Personal sacrifice for collective good? Juliet advised. Don't lose yourself. But Brielle pondered. Had she already? A family reconciliation attempt failed spectacularly. Juliet's parents invited her, excluding Brielle. Come alone, they insisted. Juliet refused. All or nothing. The standoff deepened wounds. Internally, she grieved. Parental love conditional? Brielle's father suffered a heart attack amid the stress. At the hospital, he whispered, You caused this. Guilt crushed her. Did I? She questioned, alpha guilt manifesting as self-punishment. Visiting him, Brielle confessed. I can't change who I am. His weak nod. Maybe I was wrong. A tentative bridge, but fragile. Recovery brought reflection. Brielle resigned, handing Apex to a successor. The loss gutted her. Identity tied to title. Who am I now? She wondered. Juliet supported. You're mine. But her own investigation cleared her, yet scarred. Promotion lost forever? Perhaps. They moved to a quieter suburb, escaping Boston's glare. Fresh start, but shadows lingered. Society's acceptance uneven, neighbors stared, whispers followed. A new conflict. Brielle's depression deepened. I sacrificed everything for us. Was it worth it? Juliet's assurance wavered. Her career stalled, family distant. Therapy helped unpack. Traumas from hiding, costs of outing. Awakening bloomed. Freedom's flavor bittersweet. Juliet received a job offer in Seattle. Better pay. Inclusive environment. Come with me, she asked. Brielle hesitated. Leave roots? The decision loomed. Uproot or stagnate? Debating, Brielle realized. Love required ongoing choices. Yes, she agreed, fear mingling with hope. Packing, they reflected on journeys. Betrayals endured, damages paid. Society's prejudices exposed, personal growth hard-won. Arriving in Seattle, challenges persisted, new prejudices, old wounds. But together resilience grew. Brielle started a consultancy, channeling alpha energy ethically. Juliet thrived in her role, openly. Yet a final twist. Brielle's ex-VP's widow sued, claiming emotional distress. Court battle loomed, dredging past. In court, Brielle testified. I regret my harshness. Admission cathartic, case settled. Healing continued, but scars remained. Settlement drained savings, but closure brought peace. Brielle and Juliet settled into Seattle life, the Pacific Northwest's rains mirroring their cleansed slates. Yet, inner conflicts lingered. Brielle's alpha drive itched for more than consultancy. Am I settling? She pondered, eyeing startup ideas. Juliet noticed. Don't rush. We've paid enough. Her own fulfillment grew, but family silence echoed. A letter arrived. Her mother's apology. We miss you. Can we visit? Tentative joy bloomed, but caution prevailed. Forgiveness earned? They hosted, tensions thick. We're trying to understand, her father said. Brielle charmed. Alpha poise winning points. Breakthrough, acceptance gradual. Juliet's heart mended slightly, but vigilance remained. Society's shifts helped. Progressive Seattle embraced them. But national news reminded. Rights fragile. A Supreme Court case on LGBT protection stirred anxiety. What if we lose ground? Juliet worried. Brielle organized fundraisers, channeling energy positively. Her awakening complete. Power and advocacy, not conquest. A personal crisis hit. Juliet's health scare. A lump, benign but terrifying. Brielle's support unwavering. I can't lose you. The ordeal deepened bonds, highlighting fragility. Post-recovery, they married quietly, vows exchanged under cherry blossoms. No fanfare, just truth. Families attended, uneasy but present. The union symbolized triumph over odds. Yet, drama persisted. Brielle's startup attracted investors, but one demanded discretion. Keep your personal life quiet. Echoes of past. Brielle refused. No more hiding. Deal lost, but integrity won. Juliet faced an ethical dilemma at work. A teen patient confiding same-sex attractions, fearing family. Mirror to her youth. Advise honesty or caution. She chose balanced counsel, drawing from experience. Their story inspired others. A podcast interview shared struggles. Listeners messaged, "You gave me hope." Impact rippled, offsetting pains. But costs tallied. Lost fortunes, strained ties, emotional tolls. Was it worth it? Brielle asked one night. Juliet smiled. Every scar tells our strength. As years passed, they navigated parenthood, adopting a girl. Challenges anew. Societal judgments on lesbian parents. Are we fit? Doubts crept. Defending fiercely, they thrived. The child brought joy, healing old wounds. Reflecting, Brielle wrote a memoir, exposing corporate homophobia. Bestseller, but backlash ensued, threats, boycotts. Standing firm, they endured. Awakening full. Life beyond survival toward thriving. In quiet moments, Juliet pondered paths not taken. Hiding might have preserved ease, but stolen authenticity. Right choices hurt, she mused. Brielle agreed. But wrong ones destroy. Their love, forged in fire, endured. Was sacrificing empire and family for forbidden love the ultimate act of courage, or a selfish plunge into chaos?